entity to bless us and bless us with the success of this meeting today. For a moment. Me. Okay. Also, we have agenda. So we have agenda for today, and Brother Naji is going to do a short welcome, and then we want to, and also through his welcome, we want to introduce any new people that just coming in for their first time.
Peace, my brothers.
Peace. Peace.
Assalamu alaikum. It is a pleasure to see all these black men here today at this historical meeting. And the reason why I say historical, because for years to come, I think something great is going to come out of this, and we'll be a part of history where, in fact, you thought today that it may not have been so important, which it is, or it may not have been or is significant, which it is. So again, we thank everybody that is here. Those here for the first time, please raise your hands. Yes. Brother, who invited you and how did you find out about it?
My brother Jessel invited me.
Thank you, brother. We appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
How about you, sir?
His brother Saran Aziz invited me.
Yes, thank you so much. See that? We welcome you for those here for your first time, and we appreciate those who have been coming on a regular basis. We appreciate you. As you know, we are the black community, the black male community council. Council of Philadelphia. As you know, they have a Philadelphia Council of Philadelphia. Y'all aware of that, right?
Right. Yeah.
They make rules and they make regulations. They make policies. We don't do that. But we want to enforce them to make policies and regulations that will be in favor for what? For our community and for black people. We want to be recognized as an enforcement here in Philadelphia. And not only that we want to start this movement here in Philadelphia, but we want to start it in New York City, we want to start it in New Jersey, we want to start it in Chicago, we want to start it in Detroit, we want to start it all major cities of what we're doing here. So therefore we have to be the best example of what we're doing here, but we have to be effectively. And I appreciate what's going on right now. We have the mediated, we have the brother downstairs. There's an incident that had happened some weeks ago, maybe a month ago, and we have that being investigated, and we have brothers with a sound mind, a good mind, that is elaborating and talking about it, you know, and trying to resolve these issues. And this is what we're doing. We have a bodies of different administrations that we have here, and we want each and every administration to be effective. But at the same time, we want to be what? One body. Right. One body. Even though what's going on down there, he's a part of this one body. Okay. So we want everyone to understand that we are one body, no matter what administration, what segment that you're in, we are one body. Mm-hmm. And we want to continue to have you to call your brother that who was here last week is not here today. Call him up. What's up? Mm-hmm. We miss you. Yeah, right. I've been holding the seat for you. Mm-hmm. Right. This is how we gotta do this. All right. Right. So you know when we leave here, you know who's supposed to be here today. Mm-hmm. Call him up. He might be sick, but we got to be like brothers. All right. Right. In my closing, I seen a thing on Facebook. It was a young man. His sister was given instruction from this person that works in the store. He's some type of Arab or someone from another country. He asked her to give him a call. He's 42 years old, and this little girl, 13 years of age. And the brother of his sister came into the store and said, "What are you trying to do?" He said, "You gave my sister your phone number for her to call you. You know, and he said, I mean, but he was saying it all like that. He was cursing and saying niggers and all that. And he was saying that, why, you know, and higgled the Arab. He said, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. He said, ain't no sorry. He said, if your ass didn't get caught, you wouldn't be sorry. You know? He said, what you want to do with a 13-year-old girl? So my point is that, you know, we can deal with a situation like that. We can curse. We can call him nigga. He was calling the Arab a nigga. One thing about black folks, we call everything niggas. Everything is a nigga. You know what I'm saying? But I can understand his passion, his love, but we can't work that way, brothers. If that was your situation, we can't go to the store and call the man niggas and we're gonna F you up. No, we can't do that. We have to approach this much intelligent. And what I did, I responded back to it. You know what I did? I responded back to it. I said, brother, you know what you should have did? You should have let him call her, knowing that she got the number now. Let her call the man, and after she called him, set up a place that they can meet. You have the cops there, the authority there, and everybody else there. Then that's when you lock his ass up. That's one way you can handle it. Or we can close the store down. But there's many ways that we can do it. But we can't be going with our emotions and all upset and we cursing, we calling the man niggas and everything. We can't go that way. We cannot go that way. We have to approach it much intelligently. And as we are the city, as we are the council, like I said, we enforce the policies of what they have, all right? And that's what we want to do. We want to be an enforcement of this city of Philadelphia. Right. We want to be recognized as the enforcement of the policies that the city has. Anything that we want, we should be able to do it with our unity. That's right. And one of the most important things that they are afraid of is what? Unity. Unity. And to be unified. To have this department, that department, one body, that's powerful, brother. Yes, sir. And that's what we're trying to do, and that's what we're going to do. Yes, sir. We are fighting for our people. That's and right. We will what? Surely win for our people. Thank you so much. Peace.
Thank you, brother. Peace.
Thank you, brother. I had passed the mission and the vision statement. Can I get that back for 1 minute? I'll give it right back to you. Mission statement. Now, for the newer people, we have a vision and mission statement, and this is something that we also going to put on our YouTube channel. So every time we do a presentation, especially when it's recorded, that this will come across, so those who listen to us or come to our channel know what our mission and our vision is. And it's pretty simple. You say the Black Male Community Council of Philadelphia mission statement. Our mission is to unite as black men in the city of Philadelphia for the purpose of providing a clean, safe, and secure environment for the women, children, and elders of our community through membership and leadership that will embrace our community with their presence and resources that will uplift and empower struggling areas of our community. The vision statement. Our vision is to promote public safety and community empowerment in the black community of Philadelphia. We are a community service organization engaged in employing strategies that will stabilize those areas that need our services. And that's basically what we are, what we're trying to do. And we have committees that Najee was saying, the purpose is to develop these committees. So when we do hit the boots on the ground, we come in with a structured plan to accomplish this vision and this mission. And I think that's it. Now we're leading up. Okay, let me do this. We're leading up to the committee work. Now, what we're doing here is you got the mediation committee, the education committee, the cleanup committee, and the security committee. So now we could get into some committee work, and then we'll come back together after we do some work within the committees. Okay. How you doing, man? I'm making a phone call. So sit down, man.
Now at this time, we have a circle of different committees where they're going to be discussion of the issues of whatever the subject may be. We have at this time about 4 or 5 circles. Where in fact they will be sitting down, as you see, and discussion about the issues of the city of Philadelphia. These are black men that is concerned about the problems that we have in the city of Philadelphia. As you heard earlier, we are trying to form a black council. The community, the Black Male Community Council of Philadelphia. For those who like to come, you're more welcome to come to this meeting.
Hey, brother, how you?
Right, and for those who like to subscribe to YouTube, you can check us out on the internet. The Black Male Community Council of Philadelphia, BMCCP. We just had our second week also in our table discussion, which we have every week. We have a table discussion that we have every week. And we just had our second one the other day. We'll be going to different areas and sitting down talking about the issues that concern us here in Philadelphia. So for those who would like to come, you are welcome to come. We here, right here in North Philadelphia, and you are welcome to come. This meeting is to last to about 4 o'clock. And for those who like to be a part of it, you are welcome to come. We're trying to unify the Black Male Community Council of Philadelphia.
I'm good, man.
When the day off or when the shift started, just to make sure the brother was protected.
I never heard this part.
At this time, as you see, there's a lot of discussion that is going on. Each circle will have a leader that will lead out the task of what is being done here in Philadelphia. If there's any problem that you may have in your community, any issues that you have in your community, I would advise you to come to this meeting.
No, I got no, but when,
Don't wait until something happens.
and there was a picture that they just had on,
Then you're concerned about what may have happened to you or your family.
they were the first black police officers in the state. They weren't allowed to carry weapons. They weren't allowed to lock up.
We have to be proactive
But they used us to numbers up,
in all that we do. As you know, there are people still coming in.
So anyway, that's what this organization is about. And we're like I said,
Our attendance has been very good. We thank Almighty God for that. For us.
we have
But for those who like to participate, please come. The address is right there before
we
you.
go up to the NWB, then we can take the anybody
Tell your husband to come on out that house. Tell your boyfriend to come out the house. Tell your maid to come out the house.
But the point is also and
And join
what we expect is black
this very historical meeting that we're having.
My father was an alcoholic. I'm talking about being locked up almost. If there's four sad people, my father was locked up for me. You know?
It's going to be going on for at least about a good,
She hated me.
probably half an hour, 40 minutes. Then after that, after the conclusion of all the circles that we have here, they're going to sum up all that was discussed. And then whatever solutions that they came with, they had came collectively all together with that solution.
This is like a particular event or just the city all the time?
One person cannot do it by themselves. Even though it can start with one person, but then after that one man stand up, then the rest of the men should stand up as well. We are located right here on Jar Avenue. You're welcome to come. Like I said, bring your husband, bring your brother, bring your boyfriend. Tell them to stay with the men. Right now, we're not out in the streets, but we plan to be out. We believe in the month of March. And at that point, we will be pretty much established of all the organizations or the circles that we have here. That will be well organized. We don't want to like work from the hip. So for those again would like to come, come to this meeting. Join the meeting. Aren't you tired of the problems that we have here, Philip? Aren't you tired?
He has a lot of resources too. That's one of the ones.
Aren't you tired of the shooting and killing among each other? Aren't you tired?
Depending on what area, how to help them out with the
What do you want to do?
coordinator, district has a coordinator. Trash pickup is. So,
He called me when I was at a county.
look, I'm giving this
You can call and talk to them.
We have the brothers right there, you can see.
Pretty much get together and coordinate with you. We come back the next time.
Establishing
We have some auxiliary.
order, establishing unity, establishing love, establishing concerns.
because the main objective is to preserve life.
This is what you see. We've been having brothers coming on a consistent basis, and I admire them for doing that.
The phone number, and you just join the clinic for mediation. And you have some things to offer, because he's looking for something to and then he get your email address, like he sends
Ain't this beautiful? Anytime you have brothers on a consistent basis coming to the meeting, that speaks volume.
No, we haven't got that yet. That was this week. And the amount of people I have, we gonna go use that.
That speaks volume. We are establishing unity.
At their men's Monday meeting, right? Then they set a meeting up with me and Pastor Paul. So yesterday I met with Pastor Paul, me and Gamal. Pastor says to me, matter of fact, he gonna take next week's meeting. Ain't nothing gonna be on the agenda but us.
Over there.
Over at his church.
At his church.
At his church. Yeah, the men's ministry, huh? No, it's a Monday gathering that they do, brunch that they do for the men's ministry.
Right.
So he say he's gonna tell them that this week, next week, the 16th,
It's all about this.
what we doing here.
Our agenda.
Yeah. So I'm excited about that, and it's gonna be me, Kofi, and Gamal. We don't want to go in and take over their
Exactly.
meeting. They're inviting us to do a presentation. But what they was excited about was the concept that we bring in. Black men coming back and being the president. So they was very excited. And so the point is that if we do a good presentation and Pastor Hall tells me anything he wants, anything we need, just let him know. So that gives me a good sense that when we do have the call out, we got one facility that we might probably could
You know, I talked to the captain road right? Because we had the 3 locations. And that, now I was going to ask you, did she get back? Was she able to make connections with the crackers over there?
No, I haven't talked to Rochelle because we all got different things. You know, she's running for the sheriff. So I didn't want to go those because she got petitions she got to get done and stuff like that. So if we can do it, then that'd be great.
So the guy in the community, I called him, he said, well, we're not going to schedule you to call you back Monday. Time is of the essence.
As you can see, that churches is opening the doors for us as well.
Which is very important that we all understand. Even though we say the 16th or the 30th, we ain't coming out until we
locked down,
We
everything.
got our eyes dotted
That's,
and our T's crossed.
that's smart. I mean, go smart. We can't roll out until we lock it all down.
Yeah. Yes, sir. You leaving? You got another meeting to go to? Okay.
You leaving? I know. See, what's the name?
I'm gonna do what we say we're gonna do. I'm gonna bring it up as a suggestion that one of the locations be Susquehanna Avenue area.
Yes, sir.
So when we get to that point in our meeting, I'm gonna definitely recommend that because we already got you.
Yes, sir.
And I know you'll be a asset to what we're doing. So I'm definitely gonna present that to the body as one of the locations.
Pivotal assets.
Yeah. Okay. And maybe next week if you ain't busy, you could come and sit and
I'll be back.
be with us.
No, next week I'll be in Chicago.
Oh, that's right. The same thing. Okay.
Yes, sir.
I did some research in town. That stuff.
We had a meeting with Darryl Clark, so that rec center, they're gonna give it to us.
Not the rec center.
Okay.
The other stuff in the church in the advocate.
Okay, yes, sir.
I went to the talk about that.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to talk to him.
Okay. I'll fill in that. Make sure
As you can see that we have circles of different committees. This committee of all circles will be going on for at least maybe about another half an hour or so.
And I talked to whoever.
And then after that point, we are gonna talk about what they have talked about within the circles. Resolutions, solutions, issues, how we can solve problems here in Philadelphia. It's multiple things of issues that they're talking about.
I used to work for sanitation and sometimes they send us out for detail. They get the instructions from downtown JFK to each yard and they'll send certain details out. Like I'll do like prostitutions and stuff. Lots of, like I said, that's periodic.
After meeting with Pastor Paul, he'd say, and they said, we like that idea, what will be the date?
What would be the date? Yeah, I will come back and see where we are at.
In terms of formulating, getting our stuff in order, as we say, when we roll out, which gives us enough time to make sure that we can roll out.
And like with the media stuff, of course you're already in there. But also what we want to do is we want to get we might have to pay somebody a stipend. And
Social media.
Yeah.
It's funny you say that. I just hired college intern to do all the social media stuff. I got the borders to roll. I got the guys all of the media stuff.
Welcome, Brother Stanley.
My name is Dave Bradley. I'm the president.
Yes, sir. Okay. She's not here right now.
No, she's not here right now.
Yeah. You're welcome to come and hang out with us.
Well, our meeting starts at 3 o'clock because I wanted her to open that door over there.
Okay, you're going to be in the basement? Oh, you're going to go upstairs?
Yeah, but I don't have the key.
Hold on 1 minute. Let me see if I can. I might have a key. Najee. You can open it. Okay, so we're gonna need a social media person like yesterday. That's why some of our stuff we want to put up on YouTube is not up on YouTube. Because I'm waiting for somebody else to wait for somebody to give me something. Hey, Najee,
We make a better witness.
you want to move that so.
You're a good witness. You can help.
Social media stuff. Yeah. I just hired, just to hire social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. All that is easy. On top of that, little stuff I'm doing, but I hired a war contractual agreement. I got him. He's my media. All the publications, the media stuff, press releases, the interviews.
We have brothers also from the NOI, the Nation of Islam, that is here as well. And they are in full participation in what we're doing here. As you know, we'll be having our Savior Day annual, which we have every year, which will be in Chicago. So many of the brothers from the NY will be here next week. That will be in Chicago. Minister Fairclough will be speaking on the 17th of February in Chicago. So many of the brothers that is in the NY, they will not be here, and maybe some others will not be here as well. But the meeting is still going to go on. So we have Christians here, Muslims here. Understand that we have the same issues as far as problems here in the city of Philadelphia.
I just said that. Continue with consistency. Now, people hit a stamp. Oh, yeah. Shit like that happens. You know I ain't lying. So I had to time. I was put a time next to you. They got a face. Not just so glad. I had to face mask. When you hit something, not just that.
Man, come over and actually do that. It's not me.
You got those zero scares too. You start having to walk behind it when you sit on the ground.
And you're right. He kind of you invite people to come out, they don't want to come. But like Mama used to say, don't worry about them. Do what you're supposed to do. The one I got snapped, the one that never kind of messed up. I hope they be sure that they because I think when they start cutting these stuff, that's what I'm going to get done. I know what it's constantly comes to.
Our first 3 days, 3 months, 90 days will be like our pilot program. You see what I'm saying? And so if like say for the authority, if we get 2 in North Philly, 2 in South Philly, 2 in West Philly, 2 in Southwest Philly, and 2 up in, no, we ain't gonna mess with this like this. 2 up in,
I'm down there already.
yeah.
While I'm doing something.
Plus, that's a very mixed neighborhood. And our concentration right now is in the black neighborhood. You see what I'm saying? So, and if we take 2 up in Germantown, nice town, the northwest section of the city, you see what I'm saying? That would be our 10 locations. At least that's the thought, right? Which would be day and the night. Okay, so we talked about about Triumph and the potential of that being one of the locations that we use for the call-out. We still need you to see if you can give it. Just find it on the map.
Get a little disturbed when he's, well, I'm glad he had to take a schedule and stay to get to money.
Okay.
And it's really because the black male engagement curriculum over there actually kind of to. Now, my man, the professor, the white guy, told me to come home to so he gets the kind of we about to move out. I told him exactly what we were doing. They just, and I'll tell you why, they just had a book fair and all that over there. Man,
Okay, so we talked about a possible location, and we talked about the meeting that's going to take place next Saturday at Triumph. Right?
and y'all doing it early.
It starts at 10. It's like a brunch.
By the time y'all get back, y'all come back in here with a report.
Yes, so we have a report about that particular meeting, and so that I think that's good. And community college and the Met is still on the table. Right, so that's good. And
Not confirmed yet.
none of this stuff is confirmed.
They make a proposal as far as for the, did you maybe like write a proposal?
Say it again.
Like we write a proposal, the objectives that we're trying to.
Yeah, Zachariah was talking about putting together a synopsis of a proposal.
You don't want to just do it just by word or mouth.
No, not at all. No, but that's what
You want to put it on paper and give it
exactly. You want to proposal, not verbalize it. Exactly.
Curtis Jones is making his re-election in there. He's there. Okay. He said he was tired of making it.
Because he broke that down in bullet point fashion. So I would love for him to write that out as he stated here.
Okay.
Because that's essential. So you got to do just verbalization to go in there. You hand them a copy of it, the bullet points, our mission, the goal, objectives, and et cetera, timeline. That way, there's no miscommunication.
Question and see when they donation kits.
Yeah, and he said
want to pay.
we want to say,
Get that chair right there.
There's the course of what we're doing is important.
right. He all of the points last week.
But we need to really get that.
We were doing proposals. The package we're going to put together that we're going to present to Pastor Hall in front of the main ministry. Some of that we want to be a part of, but we're going to get Zach. Zach might come here.
Yeah, I think it's essential because that,
What's up, brother?
the proposal, the overall mission of Black Mental Community Council is great, but that one-page proposal of the needs, those things Zach mentioned right in here, almost the contribution, contributory facts that we're just trying to do something, and they're saying, we ain't got money. We need you guys to help us.
That's right.
And be clear about that. And that's what after our discussion last week. We don't want to be bogged down with all that minutia. Like say if you got to go through mental gymnastics with Temple University, let's go past them and let's find some place we don't have to have that mental gymnastics. Because like we know, we don't have the finances and we're not going to raise thousands of dollars in order to do this because right now people are dying and people are suffering. And if we don't keep it simple and we don't keep it, we have in charge of what we're doing, then we become become hindered by other people, yes or no to it.
Exactly.
And part, I was reading over with some stuff in the packet, and then part of what was in the package was we don't have to ask nobody permission.
No, we don't.
Because all we doing is talking about cleaning up, being the present security, that we get the mediation today, and education. So we don't have to really put ourselves in a bind by being in a position we've got to go ask somebody, can we do what we talking about doing? And I don't want us to get into that mindset that we got to go and ask this person, that person, and be locked down with people saying yes or no. This is Brother Chris. This is...
Welcome. How you learn about it, brother?
I'm gonna tell you. Let me tell you This is Brother Chris, and I invited him here because he just married his son, last week or week before that? Last week. So we right here with us. His son was murdered by police, and so you're amongst people who we have that experience. And I invited Chris here because when you're going through what we're going through, what we do. And what we're doing here, we have committees, Chris. We have the mediation committee, you got the education committee, the cleanup committee, and you got the security committee. And we sort of act as the administrative committee. We're putting the structure together so we as black men can get into the community and do some work to present some new experience, our experience here, ever happened again to nobody else. Okay? So we just flushing out stuff while we're here. No. I just joking with you. Hey. This is basically...
Okay, this one? Okay. Everyone, how you doing?
Okay, so we're gonna. I'm gonna give it Zach. And ask him to start putting the report together. So we'll have something to present to these locations. Thanks.
Also, not just going to one place. This proposal should be like a couple places. Absolutely. Because if the A don't work, it means B don't work. So we got to have like an A, B, and C guy.
So far, we're looking at community college and the Met, and now we got pretty much relationship with crime. And the most important thing is find a place that can hold the capacity that we're looking for. And we're looking for 2,000 to 25 men. That's what we need to have something like that. Do it have a capacity for that many people? Is that big?
This thing is about us when we come out of it. We so far behind.
Did you take donations yet?
Yes.
You took them?
No, we taking it. We never stop.
If I got another shirt, will that be a donation?
Another shirt, that's a different thing.
Okay. How much is the shirt?
25. I know. Okay, the Union Hall.
Yeah, 13th block. And I think, but we had to lock that date in because they always have different events going on and people go there and they pay for that date. So So you want to try to lock in the dates with them, so nobody else won't get that date.
What we say we're gonna do is, because it's very important that we have everything in place. Even though we would say March the 16th and March the 30th, after considering what we're doing and the magnitude of it, we're gonna make sure our I's are dotted, our T's are crossed. Right? Because even though there might have been the best dates that right now, but after thinking about it, we need to make sure that everything that we need to put in place is in place. And that's why I wanted to go over this here. Brother Robert, he put this, everybody got one? Everybody got one? Yeah. Okay. You got one now? Which I thought was, let me see. Okay, well, let me get this. Brother Robert went and he put some concepts together for the call, right? And these are some of the things that he came up with. And like for section 1, he said greeting in the lobbies with pamphlets, information, uniform, same color pants. So what he's saying is we have greeters wherever the call out is at, and we have quote unquote, for lack of a better term, our gear or our uniform, and we have some information for everybody that comes through the door that we be passing to them when they come in. So I think that makes a lot of sense, y'all too. Okay. Vendors. Table set up with various information, cultural, political, economic, employment, housing, expungement, and criminal. Now, the only thing I would say about that, some of this we might can use, but some of it might be stuff we're going to do down the line, because we really bringing people together to buy into what we're trying to get them to buy into. And they won't want to be distracted with some of this stuff. This is some stuff I think we can do down the line. What y'all think? Yeah, I do think for this event, if we want to do something that's we only have to generate no money with it, but have some people come there and have something just for, like if they want to sell some merchandise or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Because this way you get sort of like
See, that has to be in the proposal too. You're going to have a building like that, you're selling things. You have to deal with money. So you have to have that in there. You deal with money now.
Not only that, but when you go into the venue.
Tell them what the cost is for the money.
Yeah, but every year you utilize a venue, right? That's one of the things that if you say for instance, we can go on Redmond Hall, and we have vendors in there soliciting and making money. Then that goes into a whole nother area. That's like a different from some other stuff that we do. That stuff needs to be in the proposal. It's okay, and we have vendors, because that gives the church, the college, whatever. Yeah, come on, sit back, sit up.
Exactly.
No, you sit there, you can sit there, side, sit.
I wrote your name there. Zach proposal. Go ahead.
I'm just saying that
the vending?
the projection of what
Okay.
call out is. Like, you coming out with money, you coming in this place trying to get information and they're part of it.
I agree. So we're going to strike that.
Maybe that's something to do down the line.
The only one selling stuff is our stuff. Okay, I agree with you. At this particular meeting, yeah, you should take vending off the table. Take vending off the table.
Yeah, right now.
Yeah, only thing we're going to be moving is our gear. Okay, so that so that's.
But we'll put that on our proposal, let them know that we're raising money for us for that.
Now, Zach. Let's go back and talk about this. We're looking at community college and the Union Hall, 332, and the Met. And we already, I shared with them about the meeting I had with Pastor Hall yesterday, and they seem to be on board solidly with us. So what we're saying is putting the proposal together. I think you did that the last time we met, to put a proposal together so we can put it out, give it to them. So if you can put a one-page together and with the other package, then we can submit it to them and see if whoever bites.
The one page for the ass, and the ass is for the we were going to ask a model to help us, but we'll do one page. Remember we were talking about ass model, but
remember we came out just looked that up and said that the other bullet points of the ads, what we looking for. That way, with clarity, and I think he alluded to the fact that that one-page proposal should be given to all three of these, so whoever fights
right.
good.
Remember those bullets? Did you write those bullets?
I remember exactly.
Yeah, all of us shared, and we created the bullets. I just want to make sure that we have the right, everyone's ideas inclusive to the ass.
It's probably in my notes, probably in the minutes. It's probably in one of the minutes.
You think that might be a good idea to ask you read in there like that instead of have one individual? They said, well, maybe they got this, they want to see if they can get it from this place or that place. But I think we just said three of them.
Yeah, there can be 3 separate.
Just to whoever we requested to, that might be better.
That's the way it's going to be.
The ass will not custom to, they won't know each other. They won't know that we're asking.
Yeah, right. That's what I'm saying. Right. But I thought you were ready to put it all in one. Okay.
The ass will be generic, but we'll customize it to whoever the contact is.
Right. The contact.
Okay, and what we was going over, I don't know if we had another one. We have another one somewhere. But we can share this when you back. Brother Robert, he went over some concepts for the call out, and we were just going over it so we can, start the process of developing what the call out would look like. Life coach. Again, I don't think we need that at this event. You know what I mean? Because we want to keep everybody focused. Food and refreshments. What y'all think about that?
What's that? No,
Number 4.
that's an open item for a vendor.
So,
That you talking about free?
say again?
Free, right? Food free, right? For the guests. You talking about selling new food?
Yes, they give away and purchase. So,
Give away and purchase.
yeah. So that's something we need to talk about.
Well, I guess, I think it goes back to the proposal, depending on where the proposal is going, what are the parameters of what you can do in there. Everybody know that you come in here and serve food, or et cetera, et cetera. Now, all these different venues have different catering policies and procedures, so that's got to be in the proposal. In the ask, can we provide snacks, drinks for the guests?
I don't think that'd be a problem. What would be a problem if you was trying to sell this? That would be the problem. I mean, anytime you have food out, I don't
Yeah, but now we're talking liability purposes. You gotta be real careful when you go to these venues. They ask you that kind of stuff.
Okay.
What's your disagreement policy? What do you serve? Hypothetically, somebody knock off some juice and slip me, they want to know all that kind of stuff. And they ask.
Always say keep it simple. You know, we're going for the message.
Right.
I mean, you all, some water. Some water, vegetation, wind in their lungs. Water, man, what you want? Peanuts?
But guess what?
Bag of peanuts? I mean,
I'll say this again. When you go in places, pro bono, basically, these are the things they will say. Hey, you can do this, you can do that, you can do that. But we gotta ask.
The question is, if you're gonna have refreshments for your backstage or whoever that dance piece is, that's something totally different from a food vendor piece. You want a food vendor piece, but that would be outside somewhere, or it would, the vendor would let you, because that's money. You can sell it.
so when you take it apart,
Now we wouldn't do it. I'm saying we would sell. You would sell it. We would get a vendor would want. That's an opportunity for them. Anytime you gather 5,000-10,000 people, you know what I'm saying? You got to look at the opportunity to make money. So
now
we would only be looking to sell that space to a vendor or several vendors that provide it for them. I mean, not.
Will we do it outside or inside?
We did the 10,000 man thing at LaCour Center. We sold the vending outside. We held down all of the merchandising vending inside.
Okay, so
we did all of this. We did all the PMMM stuff inside. We let the vendors that serve the food and all that stuff. We sold them.
Who was the organizer? Who's the organizer? Who was the organizer?
I was part of the steering board.
you had
Raheem Islam was the chair.
you had like MJZ
And Kenny.
You had MJZ Kenny, Bilal Powell.
Bilal, Pastor of Sharon Baptist, and
So before you had the 10,000 men meeting, y'all had meetings together. Trying to see how you could all do that.
the whole year before that thing kicked off.
Now, if we get Triumph, let's use that because that's the closest one that has the potential of us getting right now, right? If I look at Triumph, most thing I would suggest that we do any along the refreshment is water and maybe some chips or something like that. Because if you're talking about 2,500 men, and you see what I'm saying, and you try to do anything other than that, you're running into a large financial obligation. And number two is if the vendors does do something on the outside, then we ain't got nothing to do. We keep it simple. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, if we're gonna do anything refreshments-wise, which I think is only hospitable, to give at least water. You understand what I'm saying? If we don't do nothing else, we gotta provide water as the hospitality. You know, and then we can get our chips and stuff from our brother Zachary. Make sure Zach makes some money off of that. You know what I mean? We're gonna need at least 2,500 bags.
One thing about water, it gives life.
Yeah.
To preserve life, you can take life.
Yeah, and we get the little ones, not the big ones. No, because what happens is, so Zach is our refreshment. So I think that makes sense, and plus it keeps along with our goal and not distracting. You see what I'm saying? So let's just say right now we question mark water and some chips or something, right? That makes sense?
That's the start.
They're there for an hour or two.
our stuff, right?
No, we're gonna be there longer than an hour. Yeah, our merchandise inside by that time we had some t-shirts, sweatshirts, hats, and stuff like that. And we've been there. Okay, he also had on number 5, which is a keynote speaker, someone who convey an encouraging message centered around the culture of black men, not religious. Time frame of speaker is optional. So someone who would be, I guess, like a motivated or someone who can hear our message, and convey it. So that's good.
12 o'clock. 10 o'clock doors open. 12 o'clock should be the start time. And we're 12 to 1. Possible.
Well, I guess if you take anywhere from at least an hour and a half.
12 to 2.
Well, see, let's flush this out. We've been sitting around at this table. We've been at these meetings for over a month and a half, 2 months. So we know, but those who come in, they don't know. So we have to have ability to convey to them all this work and where we're going, right? So in that process, then we gather data and information, right? So you can't do that in 1 hour. That's my point, right? So if we time it out, say for instance we at least want to go an hour and a half, right? We don't want to go 3 hours, 4 hours. So we're not talking about no marathon, but we just want to have a program that number one enlightens, and number two, and make those enthusiastic about what we propose, right? So that's where a keynote speaker would come in at, not somebody to get long-winded and go into a whole diatribe and get caught up in their own message, but somebody who have about a 15 or 20 minute spill and have the ability to ignite in those present what we're talking about. Right. You know what I'm saying? That makes sense?
People start leaving. 3 to 4 hours, people start walking out. But like you said, you keep it straight.
The key to that understanding is we write up talking. We write up talking points for the individual. That's essential. So somebody can convey a message so that they don't derail away. Another talking point for them. That way they don't miss.
We want to tell them that you heard it. You know better than that. But I think it's someone amongst us that, not maybe in this room, but I know there's someone that we know that have the articulated skills to do what we need to be done. Right? So that person we would seek out, and that person, I mean, like say for instance, like we was talking earlier about, who knows, it might be somebody like an Elton Brand, it might be somebody like a Mick, you know what I'm saying? That might be no speaker, but we have to check out their delivery, because Elton might be a little dry. He might have a personality, but he might not be as enthusiastic in his delivery as a Meek Mills or either somebody else that we know that have that ability to the notoriety and the ability to
depending on how long this program is, you might want to have both. Because first of all, you need a personality. Personality is going to be your draw. When you get a personality like secondly, I like this whole, what failed us with that in March was it had a religious overtone. And that's what happened. That we talking about, the real breakdown of that whole event was, you had the Muslims that was in the lead of it, Raheem and Chetty, Waller, Dr. Reed. So all that is what really messed up the game. The direction of it is religious. They got the rail. So I don't know. And I'm so you gotta have personality. And I know what I was talking about. And I just left the announcement of you gotta have a politics. When they failed as well, they didn't want no politics involved. But no politics involved. But you can't do this. Excuse me. You can't do this.
They didn't have a lot of speakers there. They also had the religious derailment. So I think with this movement, again, we need some kind of, this is some kind of political
apparatus.
Yeah, I think that's the sense.
Okay, just for you, I guess I'm saying pass it out or whatever. They say that it's like religion. 7 or 8 copies, right? Number 2, they can't state. I'm on the other side. Within the people shouldn't, I guess,
if it can be universal.
That's what I'm saying. Like if it's delivery, you can't say.
Let me help out.
Who I am.
Help out a little bit. A person like Curtis Jones would be a political person to handle simply because he is the chairperson of the Stop the Violence Committee on City Council.
Reform Commission.
Yeah. So what we want him to come in.
Running for position, right?
It's okay. He's not coming in politics. He would come in and say, for instance, if he accepts to come in, he can actually talk about how our mission is important with the committee that he is. You see what I'm saying? We wouldn't want him to go into, well, I'm Curtis Jones. No, we're not talking about that at all. But what we're doing in accordance with the committee that he's the chairperson. Matter of fact, they have a hearing on. I gotta remember to let everybody know they have a hearing February 25th on violence and from that committee. Wherever I go,
I think that's a week after, right? A week and a half.
Well, I know I have it somewhere where Curtis Jones and Kenyatta Johnson is both calling for hearings in City Council about the violence that's taking place. And the first hearing is going to be February 25th. So I'll make sure that all of us get there, because some of us might want to be there just to get some input on that. But getting back to what Zach was bringing about, I don't think we need a whole Diaz politician because then you start doing the direction that we don't want to go. But I think a person like Curtis, we would be in accordance with him coming and speaking to the validity.
He will be a candidate.
Huh?
He will be a candidate for what?
One person that we might consider. Yeah. But I was just saying him simply behind the fact that the rationality, if we're going to have a political person else board to come and speak because of the committee that because of his committee. You see what I'm saying? You know, you might get somebody else who had no. I think that would be fine. Point section 6.
So back to that. You were talking about, I don't know whether you meant the potential speakers. Potential speakers. So we know depending on the time, this is like a concert, not an hour. This is like, an event. I mean, this is an event. You gotta hit them. And because this may be your own time that you may be able to get them. And you gotta capture whatever right there. So you gotta in terms of the speakers, you got someone political that can push the agenda based on the mission. Right? You got a personality that does the same thing. You may want to add also, so we're going to leave out the religion, you may want to add a community activist. Somebody that's, a community activist that's out there that can also add
just for God to be thinking like that.
It'd be good to have a female.
The reason why I think her,
all those other groups. It's really she's great, but I think she's great for what we're trying to do.
Her or somebody. I'm gonna go back to passes who is a predictor of all what the future will be. Look at the past and determine exactly what they're wrong. And Marla right back then was they didn't even have a female. They didn't have a female presenter either. And I think that they should have.
Let me highlight on just that thought. Me and that was interesting. I never seen their presentation in front of an audience. We was up in New York, and Dorothy was the keynote speaker. And the way Vanetta,
I like her.
the way Vanetta introduced Dorothy,
That was strong.
that was very powerful because it touched you when you hear a female talk about the murder of their children from a female. And that's what we're talking about. I'm telling you, I had to turn around. I had to turn around and wipe my eyes. I ain't want them to see the tears coming down. You know?
I think she should bring her own. Like she did.
That's what I'm saying. Let's listen to Rick. They have a different perspective.
And I hear that, and I understand. And I tell you what, I never forget it when the girl from I could play a piano like the Rain Valley invited us all the community down to the North. Really got to see outside Sylvester Johnson. All of us, 15 of us sitting in the meeting, right? And the disturbing thing that I found, the one lady said something in here. I was on this here, but they got funny. And Carolyn got something right about the meeting, and it gave me a different view. I love Dark. Don't get me wrong. But we talk about appealing to that. She's great. But I think that this type of thing here, there's enough people that can carry or articulate the message that we're trying to get. I just think that.
And what is that? What is that message?
When we look at the mission statement, since black males,
But we're talking about, even though we're convening, we're talking about the murder, condition of the black family, which the mother is the one who, I know, white, that lost two sons. And look, I only hear from her. I only hear, if she's talking about white, it would be like this, turn away, and some sensitive, compassionate Negro would stop, would not want to do to another individual what they would want if they heard a mother like my wife. And that's what we're speaking to. We're speaking to the condition of our community as it relates to the homicide. I'm saying, is that what we're speaking to?
Yeah, we are. I think your concerns would be addressed when Dorothy recognizes that the reason why we asked you to come here is to touch that part in the black male spirit that has not been touched. And nobody can do it better than two women who have you ever seen Vanetta and Dorothy? Nobody can touch that, would be able to touch that spirit the way they would be able to touch the spirit. Because remember, we're not going into the minds of our brothers. We're trying to go into their spirit. And if we give them 10 or 15 minutes, I'm telling you.
No, I'm a great good.
But to your point though, that's just a candidate. She's not sound silver delivered.
Yeah.
You're right.
We're talking about Dorothy types. There might be somebody out there that can make the research better than Dorothy. We don't know. But Dorothy is definitely the model that we want,
The demographic of this whole thing is making just looking at kids for whatever I hear what you're saying, but why do they have to be somebody fresh face, fresh message?
We're looking for a female type.
Come on.
We don't know yet.
I have to agree with you because I understand what y'all saying. But this is a black girl.
No, that won't be attacking the spirit.
I'm saying this is.
Not so much attacking the
We
spirit.
have been asking women to do our jobs for years.
No, see, they're not the keynote.
No, I'm saying, all I'm doing is put it up. I'm saying, we're here. We can do this.
Remember this. And this is what this discussion is about. So this is how we come up with a consensus. So we're not here discussing because we just discussing one thing. We're trying to come up with a consensus. And if we have to put a pin in it, we'll put a pin in it. But right now, we'll get back to our original discussion around a keynote speaker and someone who can get up on that Diaz and reach the spirit of those men that is in the audience.
There are some things that a woman can say to a man that a man can say to a woman. I mean, sometimes it takes a woman to say something for you to really acknowledge it. You know, you're right. Because sometimes we may not open up to a man, but we may open up to a woman for compassion.
So back to the program. Back to the program. The program in reference politician, a personality, and a community activist. So, and those three things are going to determine your keynote and who your two guest speakers are. And now you got this candidate, these potential speakers, and you got to come up with, right, you got to come up with, who in the timeline.
Well, once we develop an agenda, and again, I just go back, I'm funny about locations and venues. Depending on the venue and the number of people, what you get, the message that you want. I said earlier in terms of developing shooting points. Because sometimes those people are great speakers. All right, you call them that. But know that you can carry the message. But it's something they told me next time. You speak up there. And I'm a little offended by that. Because I can see all these events. And they say, well, we can do this. That's what we love, but I'm not saying but so if you got talking points that you can follow, I love Dark. I didn't put into the reason of really the best millions of people that lost their loved ones. Listen, I applaud her because I thought that's what they want. And maybe we community activists and politicians and everybody, and we develop a workable agenda. A workable agenda.
Great. We got to do that because you don't want them all saying the same thing.
No, not at all.
Excuse me. Can I get everybody's attention for 1 minute? Can I get everybody's attention for 1 minute? Brother Leroy has to go, and way we can support each other when we have activity. He have an activity that he got to go to, and he asked, can he make an announcement for anyone who might be interested in going into the activity he's getting ready to go to?
Yeah, thank you, Brother Stanley. Greetings, brothers. I and a few other brothers have been doing, this will be our 14th installment. It's called the Stop the Killing Tour. We've been aiming at the youth in particular. We visited high schools in both Chester, Philadelphia, and in Delaware thus far, recreation centers and so forth and so on. Today we're going to be at 42nd and Lancaster at the New African Center. Actually, doors are already open. Program starts at 4 o'clock. Inshallah, we'll be there between like 4 and 7 this evening. So if anyone would like to come and see what it is that we're participating in, you're welcome to come up, okay? We'll be serving food thereafter. And keep an eye on what it is that we're doing because we've been progressively going into the different neighborhoods and it's very much hooked up on a similar thing that we're doing here with the BMCC. Whereas we're going after specifically our youth, okay? So if you could come through, show your face, and inshallah in the future I'll try to make an attachment to anything that comes out from here so we'll have advance notice of what it is that we're doing, okay? All right, thank you, brothers.
One thing here as well in the future.
Oh, yeah, we're planning on having one here, yeah. I'll make sure that that Brother Stanley and anybody that's dealing with the IT here receives that information so we can get it, because we are going to be holding one here. We've gotten the clearance from Michelle Bilal to do it here. All right, brothers. All right, thank you,
I know where you're at,
47. African Museum.
No, 42nd and Lancaster.
African Museum.
That's a back where?
African Museum right on 42nd Street, Lancaster.
Yeah, it's an African Museum. 42nd and Lancaster.
It's that island right there, right?
Yeah, we got Phil,
That's 40th Street.
No, I'm talking about up with the second
Belfield, what's that avenue there? Belmont and Lancaster, right?
Right down the street. And the boxing gym is on the little street. And then you said,
Yes, sir. I'm trying to stop by there.
but they sell money orders, and then it's right in the other side street.
In the foyer and stuff that also capture data, whatever we data we need. So at the end, we have a mechanism to capture all the information. Sign up brothers from various committees doing question and answer. I don't think we need that because we get
That's in the data.
Yeah. Okay, and music and stuff like that. Now, I think what he was saying about this is a little socializing time after the event. I think he was talking about whoever comes. Like you might have an event, but I'm thinking this is what I think he's thinking. You have brothers that haven't seen each other for a while. Brothers who might want to do, I don't know. We need to use this time to socialize with one another. Encourage brothers to come up with someone they don't know and spell a conversation, change memories. What y'all think?
I think the program needs to have, again, some type of media, kind of like host to like MC, or you know what I mean, like MC the program. You know, somebody like Q. Somebody like Q, you know, that would take the opportunity, you know, to address, somebody like that, that knows the importance of, you know, what we're trying to accomplish and the situation that, you know, the city is in, the peril that the city is in. And so this particular MC or personality is hosting this thing and keeping it moving.
Keep the temperature right. That is so crucial.
Right.
I was just talking to Bill Anderson.
Somebody like a Bill, yeah.
Sit back. I was talking to Bill about that. Somebody like you. That is essential to have. Call me, elaborate that with you and I'll explain the next one. On the set the temperature.
I got your card. You coming next week?
Yeah, on my paper we say Charlie Khan.
You coming next week?
Right.
Okay.
That is.
And he could be ideal because, you know, he brings the media behind. He would bring the whole Fox network, and he would bring potential sponsors.
Of course.
You know, and I remember, you know, before he got really kicking, he did a panel some 15 years ago, and it's probably on YouTube, that was talking about the same situation. And it's 15 years later, and we're still killing it.
Speaking of Q, you know what I mean? Has anybody ever thought about kind of get the ball rolling with them? Now you just show up at the show and think it's free, concerned black man. And he gonna reach out when he sees it.
Exactly.
About it. And he gonna speak about that on the show.
Yeah, that was a strategy. You know what I mean? That we talking about. We were talking about. We were talking about this whole thing the last time I was here about creating the buzz.
Exactly.
And we said, I don't know where to talk about. Right. I think it was somewhere. But we were talking about creating the buzz, and that goes along with whoever this number 6 person is.
That's going to be somebody from our organization.
Right. So whoever this number 6 group is, don't have to be one person. It could be whoever.
Right.
That whole marketing should be reaching out to the Qs of the world, the Andersons of the world, creating the buzz. It's already on YouTube. Creating this buzz so that a Q will hear it, and whoever else will hear it.
Yeah.
Anybody got a relationship with Q?
But this week,
We got it.
we're gonna use that.
Plus you have the shows. That's when
Well, the branding,
I don't know Q.
the branding is cool. The branding, that's not gonna be good.
Bill and Q got a show, but Q is cool. But Bill, see, it's funny how you navigate through any files. You go through your connections to get to Q. Now, Bill, I said, Bill, can you come to this meeting? And then tell Q we need to. And I think I want to go back to the very long when we locked down the day. Now, branding at the highest level. Very much. We knew we got a location and a date and an agenda, and we've identified the speakers and all that. Now we go into phase 2 of marketing, utilizing all marketing resources, radio stations, Q, Bill Anderson, Elton, you might want to come get help with us. But we got to utilize all
Basketball
these
season,
Yeah. We're gonna make it happen. I'm gonna make it. Yeah. Well, I'll get this bill in this week.
Okay.
But where we go, where we can lock down the location and the date. Now we just go full blitz in terms of the brand and publicity, marketing. You bring my man. You bring that young boy and that social media person, because we're gonna need every bit of that. Facebook, Twitter.
You don't need them? No. You don't need them? That game too.
Now get the committees together.
Can I back up this? I missed the venues. What venues you targeting?
The venue we was trying to get community college, the Met, and Triumph.
What happened to the concert?
Well, the reason why we took 332. The reason why we took because we trying to get it where it don't cost us no money. We don't have no money, so we trying to get venues that we won't have to pay to go in. And if they're gonna be charging us tens of thousands of dollars, we don't want to be stifled trying to get something that's gonna stifle. If they give it to us, great. If they gonna charge us,
have some community engagement for community.
yeah.
That goes back into Zachariah, your cheat sheet, that's the cheat sheet. They want to page you. Send this in. What do y'all do for the community? And once they hear the mission and the model of what we're trying to do, that's part of their involvement. We got to let them in here for 2 or 3 hours and do what they do.
Correct.
That's what they don't. I'm going to blast them anyway.
Okay.
Father's Day, huh?
Yeah, Father's Day. Yeah.
So Senator, that's that.
No. He had put that in. I had to write down what he wrote down, but of course, I didn't want to present this and not put everything down. Of course, you're not working on it. I didn't want to. No, we're going. 16 might be a little bit too soon. First thing we have to do is get it's safe as like a Triumph. Say, okay, this date might be available. We'll consider it. And with the community college, say this date might be available. We're going to try to time it so we know our work is done, that we need to do with this committee, and we got everything together before we solidify a date. But we don't want to go too far out, but we're going to be able to at least make sure our work is done on this end.
And the music thing is just a microphone, speaker, somebody in there holding it down while we walking in there.
But that 2 hours, 10 to 12 would be what he was proposing for that meeting. So that socializing, hugging and greeting each other, that would be that 2 to 12 spot, and not at the end. At the end, when we're done, we're done. 10 to 12. Yeah, 10 to 12.
Is somebody gonna do video? Or y'all gonna have this people coming on Zoom?
We got a couple of people like Najee, I can see his ass.
But I think, and again, I'm gonna go back to, depending on the video, we have to establish the logistical requirements. If we need video, do we have screens, audio, all that stuff. You know, we more exact. They might tell you, y'all come in here, they might say, well, y'all bring your own music. What are your audio, video requirements? These are the questions you gotta ask when you try it. They might say, well, yeah, well, we let you in. Well, these are things you gotta ask. That's in the ass. That's why I remember what the bullets were. I can't remember that. Yeah, I gotta get those bullets.
Okay, can we? We at the 4 o'clock. We at the 4 o'clock hour, and now we can move where we do the committee report. Assalamu alaikum, brother D. Yeah. Before we lose our audience. Where I'm going? You trying to go with me? Come on.
That's my soldier. That's my soldier today.
Excuse me, can we get everybody attention, please?
Yes, sir. Okay, we put it to work in. Now let's just do a little report on what we got from each committee that met today. Okay, so we're gonna start again with the mediation committee.
All right, we're gonna start off with everybody that left, but
it's okay.
You know, we basically, this is one of our newer members here, and we were explaining to him what our goal and purpose is, not only with the mediation committee, what we're doing with all the committees. And also, you know, there were some, we had information that was jotted down, Brother B were in the meeting. So, but, you know, we were laying out what our goal and purpose is, what we plan on achieving as a unit, not just our committee. And also, you know, my brother wanted to know when we were going to get stuff into action. And what we, you know, told him is that, just what you've been saying, Stan, is that right now we are in the first stage. And as this thing progresses with patience, we will eventually get to the action part. But the patience has to be applied. So that's what we did here primarily today.
And we had shared with him that he's very enthusiastic.
Yes.
And we shared with him, you know, like that's it, that's already on burn. How about we have that? But everything has to take a specific time and a specific goal. We have an agenda that we want to put in place, that all of us are working, as he said, in a synergistic effort to make sure that what we put down here now can be taken to our over and over and over to the whole community. First, we have to be concerned about ourselves before we can be concerned about anybody else. And we assured him that we have a lot of opportunities, we have a lot of talent, we have a lot of resources that we have to rearrange and get it right now. Because it's really about, we don't want to see anybody die like that anymore, because they're all our children. You know, even though we might not know them, but just like this, it touches everybody. And then you ain't saying nothing now until it comes to you, and then you want to do something.
That's right.
My son, oh no, my son got killed. Okay, yeah, what you call son got killed last week? So we have to be mindful, you know. And I'm, as a matter of fact, I'm glad to be here, and I know that what we're doing, we're on the move. You don't have to actually see the duck's feet under the move.
They definitely moving.
One question, Brother Leroy will have a written report.
Along with
Yeah,
I can check with him for the written report.
yes. I
Okay.
Okay.
Any discussion on the mediation committee?
They did excellent.
Okay, one thing again, we had begun our first mediation today.
And I said that earlier, and I believe that we're gonna be successful in keeping two brothers from hurting each other. And it's an ongoing process. Brother Leroy was very involved with that mediation, but it's an ongoing process, and God's willing we'll be successful at our first mediation to keep two brothers from hurting each other. That was the day. Education Committee?
Education Committee. We spoke, okay. Well, I just wrote some notes because we covered a lot of ground, and I'm gonna read the notes that I got. All right. Welcome to brother Saran joined us today as the first time, and after the opening of the meeting, my brother Najee, the Black Male Council of Philadelphia was explaining, okay? And while our meeting went into progress, then the mediation committee was involved in a situation concerning a shooting, whereas it's their designated task to help avoid violent aftermaths in the future, okay? Brother Cordell introduced an exercise in calming the mind. It's called the 5, 5, and 15. And that consists of thinking of in 5 minutes the best moments of your life, thinking of in 5 seconds what's bothering you spiritually, physically, mentally. And this is to be done in 15 rounds or 15 times. That's why it's 5, 5, and 15. Okay? We emphasis on respect, especially to the women. Is a vital educational tool because the black woman has always been depicted as an object. And we have to meet youth where they are. This is all I have, my notes.
Any discussion on the education committee?
Excuse me.
Okay, you gonna give me that in writing, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I appreciate it.
What we're gonna do, we're gonna give that information to Brother Yusuf. He's more skilled at getting that information to you.
Yeah.
And he's gonna forward it to you.
He wasn't here today.
But I know we're gonna give that to him.
Okay. Yeah, I ain't gonna tell you committee how to run it. Okay, thank you. Security.
Yes, for those who don't know me, I'm Sean Hazrat.
Hey, Sean Hazrat.
All right, gentlemen, good afternoon. We had a real good meeting. I was a little late, but our captains was here conducting the meeting. We got four that was in attendance today. Khalid Monk from the red team, Khalid Dip, Attila, the blue team, Hazrat, the orange team. We were all in attendance. We only had a couple bullets, and some of the concerns was before the cleanup committee go in the neighborhood, there should be some type of security clearance. So again, the security is beginning again to tweak what our performance will be and what our performance can be going forward. Again, we had another bullet to how to approach a situation with diplomacy. After that, we had a brother named Khalid. We got two Khalids. We had one brother Khalid, and I suggested that we add Khalid as a captain because of his loyalty and his dedication to the committee. He's been coming here for approximately 3 to 4 weeks. He's been very, very consistent. And so all of the other, we have a clause where we have 4 captains, and if there's going to be another captain, another leader, it has to be sanctioned by the other captains. So the other captains gave him the vote of confidence, and he became the captain. He chose the black team. So he will be a leader in the security committee. And then another interesting thing happened. The brother Leroy had an event going on at 42nd and Lancaster to support Brother Leroy. Brother Attila, Khalid, and both Khalids decided to go so that he can get boots on the ground and an understanding of how other organizations is going forward with their security committee. So my security team decided to go with Brother Leroy.
That's great.
That's the security support report.
Any discussion on the security committee report? That's a good report, man. That was good. That was good.
Good job, brother.
Thank you.
That was good decision making on your team to go and support other people who are doing good work.
Yes,
I like
sir.
that. Yeah. The cleanup committee.
We don't really have a written report, but mostly was basically informational. And most of the people on the committee weren't here, but we had 2 newer members, which turned out to be great. And I kind of informed them of what information that I had about what we're doing here as a whole collectively. And we also, one of the brothers, actually a resource to a situation we was really uncertain about that could give us some clarity and give us some insight on how to deal with. So it was good, the conversation we had among each other about what we're doing, and hopefully I give him, Tyrone is basically our chairperson here, so I gave him Tyrone's information so Tyrone can bring him up and they can have that discussion about, so that discussion on about what we need to do in the situation. And hopefully next week we'll have that written report for you that you need.
Good job, Mark.
This is not on the cleanup crew, but a principal of a school, and they're having a what would you call it, like a day of the men would come and talk about where they came from, and what they're doing, and they were interested in this group for it was that March, and I didn't know, I couldn't give her any information of how we could be a part of. It was like a career day thing that they wanted to have, so she wanted to know if this group would be interested in doing something at her school for a career day.
Sound fantastic. What y'all guys think?
Yeah. Come on, Stan.
That's right up the lane. That's right up the lane. We got some hands up.
No, I'm just saying that's good.
Parkway over there on no, not Gerard, the one that used to be not Sarah, Shaw. Yeah, Shaw High School, right. But it's called Parkway something now.
Kerry, can you get the information, the date, and time, and bring it back?
Yes.
And then we get the group. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Just have to get the date and time.
Right.
Is that a discussion?
Yes.
One of the things we had talked before about what our primary purpose is. One is also entering and understanding, being an example to the young men and women in them high schools. But also, we got a date. I want to caution all of us that we have a date with boots on the ground, where we coming out to the community and like keeping our primary focus. Like things like that is excellent. I'm not taking that off of the table. I'm not saying we won't show up, but I'm just saying keeping our primary focus on why we're doing this. You know, we got the mediations, the education, the security, and the cleanup. And that's for a purpose in the community. And the high school is part of the community, but keeping our focus on that date is very, very important. And I just wanted to, you know, make that a point of interest. That we can go into the high school and we can give a very, very good talk and be a community and put the Black Male Community Committee on the map. But we also got to keep focused that it's bigger than just that. And I want to caution myself as well as anybody else that may get a speech or may not get a speech, that we have a primary purpose in place. That's it.
Yeah, I just want to comment and kind of like second or piggyback on what my brother just stated. But I'm more radical with it. We talked out. We try to do something different other than what's done. All of this talking. I mean, I think our vision, our purpose is to go out into the community, not in the office, not on the auditorium, not on the stage. We want to go holistically right to the source, because it's been talk. But no group, I don't see a group in the community actually visual in the community where the issues are. A lot of people, see, we gotta move from pump to power, okay? And we gotta go out there where the situation is, because we've been talking. You know, we got more meetings. We got meetings about how to go to meetings. You know, and it ain't working. People is getting killed. So I think, like I'm saying, I'm not taking that off. That could be a component. But I think our vision is going out to the community. It's the Black Male Community Council. So, and I think that if we're seen actually in the community, that has a better impact than all of this talk. That's all I got.
I think everybody's point is valid, but like the gentleman said about being cautious, I think we do have to be cautious about not seeing all the different variations as being significant. There's a significant part to. So, and as far as us being a mediation committee, one of our roles is to go out to the schools. And you use the word, it is a holistic approach. Just like you have the ones on the front line that's going to go in the community, the ones that's behind the desk, they have a role too. It has to be a holistic approach. And everybody's role coming together collectively, like that fist that we talked about, it's what's going to get the job done. You know, the gentleman talked about keeping the main thing or the main objective. Again, I agree with him with that. But things like what this gentleman just said, if I read it correctly, again, under the mediation committee, that was one of the roles. Because the younger generation, I think it is significant personally to have them in one place, and you can't have too much talk. We have to express love and give them new education and give them job opportunity and so forth and so forth. But I did share with my group here that the language, I feel that the language has to change. The language has to change, and there's no better place, or at least one, is to do that in the place of like a school environment. So, I mean, I'm open to that.
He said it all. I'll go ahead, Stan.
Yeah, well, one in our mission statement, it talks about education. And school is one of the things that where all our children go at, where actually they're teaching you about history. And many of these public schools we go to, they don't teach us, our children, a lot about history as we should know about it. Besides George Washington, Jefferson, and all these other people, they may talk about Martin Luther King, but there's other greater Black people that they need to know about. Another thing in the social media, as you noticed, that there was a demonstration that they did. As far as, when you bad, they had a police officer in the classroom where he was demonstrating that. He said, when you're bad in society, this is what happened to you. They had all these white children in the background watching this little black boy, our child, being handcuffed. Now, if you want to handcuff a black boy, a black child, and you have all these children, which is white, is looking. So, I understand you said, it's a bunch of talk, but that's the first thing that develops is word. Even though we have words, but we need to back it up what we say. The words got to come out there, but the words that we come out with, we back it up as well. So school is very important that we need to be involved with that as well.
Hold up, Rebel. We have Senator Michelle would like to add something.
Oh, this seat too low for me. Just to note that most of the problems that spill out into the street starts at the school. When there are disagreements amongst children, and then they take it home to the adults, and it becomes a fight outside of the school. So the mediation and the education committee will work well inside the school, because right there you start mediating the situation. And young people need to know who to go to if there's a situation happening out in the school that will spill out into the streets. Yesterday I'm riding up Broad Street, and there's a bunch of kids out there about ready to fight. And my instinct was, why are they out here in the cold trying to fight? And then when I started talking to them, all of this started in the school because somebody said something to somebody that they didn't like, and they went and got their cousin, and so now it's on the streets, and before you know it, it becomes a gunfight. So mediation in the school it begins to stop it right there, because then it won't spill out into the streets. So you need to go in school. The education committee needs to go in school. The mediation committee needs to partner with the education committee, because that's one of the places where all of this starts from.
Okay, let me say something, Camille, before we want to move on, because we get bogged down with that, and we got a couple more things we need to do, and we over time already. But one thing has started to happening with us as an organization, and I believe the Creator and the ancestors is sending us work to do before we go out and do the work. Like the mediation that took place today, and neither one of them there, but that's very important, and we couldn't wait until we hit the ground. We had to do that right now, and potentially could save one or two brothers' lives or save them from going to penitentiary. So that's already occurred. We had a situation. Najee needed some support and to get a letterhead to send to Mount Raya Cemetery so they could continue keeping that area clean where his son is buried. And he needed that, so we didn't have time to wait until we had this call out. That was something that was needed right away. And what it does is it keeps us in accordance with what our vision and mission statements are anyway. If his son is in the cemetery, and we is able to use our collective organization to make sure he gets what he needs to make sure it's clean and trees, then that's part of our mission. So there seemed to be a call on us prior to us hitting the booth, but the whole thing, like Hasback and Gamel is saying, we don't want to go into areas right now that subtract us from that. We're not an employment, and we're not some of them other things that might be given to us, but we do want to stay in accordance with what our vision and mission is. Okay, so we can move on and get up out of here because we're way above past that 4 o'clock. This committee here, which is the trash committee or administrative committee, we went over a proposal that Brother Rob had put together for the call out. And we basically, section 1 was greeting in the lobby with the pamphlets and information and uniforms. So that's something we say we want to definitely do. It was a couple of things that we we thought that wasn't appropriate for us right now at this particular time. And vendors, we decided to go away with vendor. Only vending going to be done is our merchandise because that's part of our fundraising process. Food, we thought that we'd just get some water and chips and snacks to pass out to those who are attending. And that we won't have food and all that other stuff at this thing. Keynote speaker. We did say a keynote speaker would be good. Somebody like a Meek Mills or somebody like, if we have any politician, we have somebody, and this is not in edge and stone, but we have somebody, we're going to have a keynote speaker that's a drawer. And we thought about a political a person who was not at the 10,000 man call out, but we thought about somebody like a Curtis Jones, who is the chairperson of the Nonviolence Committee of City Council. So what we want to be right in court, so not to come in politics, not to come and talk about your election, but to come in to be a voice as to our particular effort that we try to put together. And then we talk about a community activist. Some of us brought up people like Dorothy from Mother in Charge or somebody like that could touch the spirit of the men with their experience of having their children murdered. And that's not in stone. We might get somebody else, but that's somebody. And then the sixth one was somebody from the organization summarizing with the audience what we are talking about and according to our vision and mission statement. So that was things we say we want to bring on board. And the socializing will be done between 10 and 12. Because remember, we're going to have especially the event starts at 12. So that portion about, socializing and greeting and stuff like that, for those who come. Because remember, people going to come, ain't seen each other in years or maybe for a long period of time. That'll be part of that thing. Yeah, man, where you been, how you been, blah, blah, blah. But at the end, we want to make sure we stay focused and gather the data and information. And we already have an application form that we'll pass out when they come in, and we have people with laptops and whatever have you gathering information. So the most important thing is to get the support from the men who come and gather their data and information so we can use it when we get ready for the call out. I talked to, if I did not talk to, I had a meeting with Pastor Hall yesterday. And the meeting was very enthusiastic on his part about what we're doing. Mm-hmm. He also invited us to go and speak at the next week men's ministry meeting, which is a brunch they do once a month. And he says that the topic of that discussion at that men's meeting would be what we're doing here. Okay. So we're gonna go there and we're gonna do a presentation and put a package together for them. And what we have here is I would just stumble across this, and this I stumbled across this morning. It's about 7 YouTube videos that actually talk about what we're talking about, so people can visually see what is taking place in Philadelphia. And in part, one of the things is North Philadelphia Hood 2017, Philadelphia Roughest Hood Part 2. Deep inside the Philadelphia hood, Philadelphia slums, Philadelphia super slums, North Philadelphia extreme hoods, urban decay. And what this does, this will give anyone that you send to look at this a visual of what we're talking about. So I thought this was something that you could get and pass out in reference to giving people an idea what we talk about cleaning up. Why are we talking about cleaning up? If you see the filth and the dirt in these YouTube videos, you will see that there's a need for what we're talking about, and so forth and so on. Okay, I want to just do a financial report because I think that's very important for all of us to know where the funds is coming from, so that won't be a divisiveness amongst us as far as the monies goes, because sometimes that can be a very divisive thing. And what I do is try to do a report, and this report is total merchandise sold in 2/2 was $200. I might have been off a little bit, but $200. Total merchandise on hand is $425. Total donation for 2/2 was $168. Balance that was on hand as of February 2nd was $117. This lab that you see here that we use for our video, Najee, who right now is our videographer, needed this in order to have a better presentation, and we supported that because we the ones going to be using this. And it came to $234. So we took that out of our prudent reserve. And the total funds on hand after disbursements was $361. That's what we had, and we had some merchandise sold today, and we had some donations, which I'll give in my report next week. So that's the financial report. Did I miss anything that we talked about?
When is that meeting that you was talking about at the church?
Well, that meeting is next Saturday, which is the 16th. And this is their man ministry committee.
What time?
It's at 10, but this is not for all of us.
Not for us.
No, I'm gonna go, Kofi gonna go, and Gamel gonna go as our representative. That way we don't take over their meeting, because it's their meeting, and we don't want to go bum rush their meeting and spoil our opportunity to have that coalition with them. And one of the things that's important about this here too is when we talk about the call out, we need to be able to, again, the Master Shore, which Zach and we could get in front of the Master Shore, the black clergy, and any other organization that have a large amount of men associated with it. So when we have the call out, we get that support from that, especially that group of men. Because it's about men, and whatever else, like Blau, Kraun, or whoever else we could get that have a men following, because we need as much support as we can for the call out.
Yes, sir.
Any question on the report that I gave? The administrative trash committee report? If not, okay.
Yeah, I want to.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, everybody's all right?
We good.
First of all, can everybody stand up, please?
I got one more thing now before we do that.
Okay.
One more thing. Right now we have a person that's going to upload our information to our YouTube channel. I just got to give him some information to access it. But we also trying to get us to send friends and family members to our YouTube channel so we can start to driving people there so they can see what we're doing. Najee is doing all this recording, and we upload it to our YouTube channel, but it's for the purpose to get people to come and see what we're doing.
Subscribe to the
And we had 2 roundtable discussions. One of them Najee had up here for a minute, but one day, maybe next week, if we don't take a lot of time, we can sit back and look at our YouTube channel so we can be familiar with what's on our YouTube channel.
Yeah. Could we all stand up, please, turn around and face Sister Bilal, Michelle Bilal? We want to say thank you so much, Sister, for allowing us to come. We apologize for being late, but thank you so much. So can we all say thank you?
Thank you.
Also, I want to do, before y'all leave, I want to do the off, feeling boots on the ground, all right? So when we get to the end, I want to hear some feet. We are fighting for our people, and we will surely win with sacrifice and unity and some LOVE. We know that is not easy, but that is okay. What moves us, what drives us, what motivates us is LOVE. L, loyalty. O, overcoming. V, victory. E, embracing your people, because we are fighting for our people, and we will surely win. Boots on the ground! Boots on the ground! Boots on the ground! All hands on deck!